All right, Riders, lock in. We are previewing the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. Tonight, we dive into the matchup, lines, player props, and more. Let's ride. Time to pull up a chair and talk some Thursday night football. I'm your host, JJ Wenner. This is the Rider Dynasty Podcast. With me are my co-hosts, Jameson Hutchison and Joseph Harlow, the two best co-hosts anybody could ask for. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Doing good.
A lot better now. Thanks, JJ.
Listen, got to lift up your brothers.
On that note, before we really get into it, don't forget to listen to all of the podcasts and watch all of our shows here at Fantasy and Frames. We're going to continue with the brother lifting and scan the code. Code?
Maybe.
I'm going to pretend it popped up somewhere.
Magic code. We'll have a code at some point. And head over to fantasyandframes.com for all the latest articles and rankings covering a wide range of topics in the world of fantasy football and some other sports.
All right, gentlemen, let's kick off as we always do by talking about our likes and dislikes from last week. What is one thing that pleased you and one thing which shall be cast into the phantom zone? JMO, you're up.
The first thing I liked was the Detroit Lions looking like the Lions again through 3 weeks. Week 1, everybody got very scared facing Green Bay Packers where the offense looked abysmal, had a new offensive coordinator. Things were pretty rough, but after putting up 13 points in week 1, they smashed the Bears, putting up 52, and then they put up 38 last week against the Ravens. So if you drafted David Montgomery, he looked pretty good last week. Drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, he looked pretty good last week. So the band's back together. Amon-Ra had a big game. Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta will still be the weekly flyers that they are, but just feel very comfortable the rest of the season with the Lions here, even with Jared Goff. I know a lot of people planned on regression with them. You know, the Bears are in the division, the Vikings, no offense, they don't look as good as advertised so far. Green Bay looks good, but I mean, Lions look like the Lions. So I think after the first couple weeks, everybody can exhale a little bit and be all right with the Lions if they've drafted them this year.
Now, JMO, what do you think about Detroit this week? They're going up against Cleveland, correct?
Yeah, it is not the most ideal matchup in the world, but if anybody can pull this one off, it's obviously the Lions. I mean, Myles Garrett in the gang, this defense for Cleveland has kept them in games, and if they had any sort of offense or special teams the first couple weeks, they honestly could be a 3-0 team. So it won't be the easiest of sledding. I'd still start Jahmyr Gibbs. I still think he can get there because I think they'll scheme him up. David Montgomery might be a little bit of a different issue, but I mean, the Lions have so many different tricks as we saw last week. And just if anybody can kind of break down the Browns defense a little bit, it's the Lions here. So I still feel pretty comfortable with them, even though the matchup on paper doesn't look great.
Sounds good. What was your dislike for the week?
Mine? Let's see. I will go with the Atlanta Falcons being a total abomination. I mean,
I feel like that's too kind.
Well,
it's Thursday. I haven't had any drinks yet, so I'm just going to lay off a little bit. But I mean,
okay.
Very worried about Drake London. If this is how this is going to go with Michael Penix not being any good. They couldn't score a single point against the worst defense of all time in the Carolina Panthers. So I know Bijan's gotten there on his workload, but other than that, I mean, Drake London has hit 55 yards twice, and that's the most he's gotten. He's gotten 0 touchdowns. In those 2 games, he had 15 targets and 8 targets. So to only get 55 yards on that, I mean, just kind of a disaster. And if they put in Kirk Cousins, I don't think that gets any better. So I'm not panicked like 100%, but I mean, flags are kind of going off on this Drake London stuff. If you have him in Dynasty, I mean, he's a premier asset that you have. If you have him in redraft, I mean, you drafted him in the first 2 rounds. So I don't know. It doesn't look very good through 3 weeks. So I'm a little worried about our dog, Drake London, but hopefully he can turn it around.
Especially considering he was going right at that 1-2 turn in a lot of drafts. That's
especially
a little painful.
After last year, Kirk Cousins looked so bad. They bring in Michael Penix the last couple games. Drake London has 4 million fantasy points to end the year. I mean, I just thought that would transition, and it has been abysmal. So, I'm going to go to sleep tonight. I'm going to pray about it a little bit and hope that things turn out different. But that would be my dislike for this week.
Yeah, my dislike about that was they knocked me out of my eliminator pool for SFB. A lot of us went out last with the Packers losing to Cleveland and that abomination, as you said.
Dude, I found myself defending Michael Penix and Bo Nix this week, which is very out of character for me. But I feel like small sample size last year, both of them were just like, oh my gosh, these are the greatest things since sliced bread, even though Michael Penix looked fine in 3 games. And now after one bad game, everyone's jumping ship. It's like, I think calm down a little bit. I think this was very much them big braining everything, and it didn't work. They're tipping their pitches worse than almost anyone ever has tipped pitches. I think right now in the pistol, they're running 92% of the time. And in shotgun, they're throwing 95% of the time. I don't know, remember the exact numbers, but something like the football 301s and such. That it's just defenses know what's happening. Even a bad defense like the Panthers, JC Horn can lock up Drake London enough, and then even 10 warm NFL bodies know what's happening, going to have bad success. They're freaking out about their right tackle situation.
And also, progression isn't always linear.
No.
Like we always expect players just to get consistently better week after week until they're all-stars, but it doesn't always work that way.
Rarely does.
Now, for me, the thing I liked last week was that it delivered one of the best 5-minute spans of football I've ever experienced. Jordan Davis blocking his second field goal of the day and a game-winning attempt, running it back 61 yards for a TD was absolutely insane. My wife and I were jumping off the couch. We're so excited. Then the broadcast cut to the Jets game where Will McDonald jumped over the entire offensive line, blocked that field goal, and ran it back for a touchdown to give the Jets a lead, which they didn't hold on to, but that's neither here nor there. But my heart was racing, and I was like, hell yeah, this is why football is the best sport in the U.S. right now. Like, that doesn't happen in baseball. That's not exciting.
No.
This week's pretty exciting for baseball.
Yeah, this week would be.
The Red Zone.
Are the Orioles in?
Rude. They've been out for a while. They should have been in, but
Rude. I don't know anything about baseball.
No, the O's have been like the biggest disappointment of the year by far.
Thought maybe they had a little bit of a bounce back.
They have, but like after they were 30 games under 500 and out.
Oh, yeah.
One of those.
It's always
like the Falcons last year, honestly.
I'm sorry, my friend. All right. My dislike for the week, J-Mo, is that I really didn't like the Dallas Cowboys using CD as a running back and then getting him injured on the first series, causing him to miss the rest of the game. The offense then sucked in what should have been a high-scoring, fun game. It was painful to watch. I'm nervous about that kind of injury. I hate high ankle sprains. I hate the fact that they taped it up and he couldn't come back in. I don't know. I'm worried about how that's going to affect the rest of the team until he's healthy. Dak and Pickens need him on the field to hit their full potential. And I know how much we're invested in Pickens, some of us. But although Jake Ferguson getting like 37 targets and catching like 36 of them was great for me. Led my roster to the best score in my SFB division.
There you go.
So that was silver lining.
I will say this. 2 things about the Cowgirls. They've been running that same play with CeeDee Lamb for years now. The running back stuff out of the backfield. I know everybody is offended they did it this week and he finally got hurt on it, but they've been doing that for a while. And then second off, I know CeeDee Lamb is very crucial to the Cowboys offense, but I think these offensive line injuries are just as bad. They've lost their center, they've lost their right guard, they've lost Hope, they've lost Micah Parsons. I mean, so
he's coming back this week.
Yeah, too soon. It doesn't affect me, but some people out there probably too soon. But I think like it just seems like the entire environment's kind of crumbling. And then, George Pickens did throw his helmet a little bit. I don't blame him. I'd throw my helmet too if I was losing, but I would do that every single week. So still not worried about him. I think he sets up nicely, just not this week against Green Bay. But Jake Ferguson, Turd Ferguson getting 400 receptions. I think if you have him as a tight end and you got him late, I think that feels pretty good right now.
It does.
I have to say the running back wide receiver uses running back thing is interesting. I like that the Bears were doing it. If I didn't have a Dunze as my last week, that honestly would have been in contention. I think that makes a lot of sense since DeAndre Swift is just, he's DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
that's kind.
I try.
But what was
your like and dislike from last week?
This one is gonna touch Doug's heartstrings as well. Jordan Mason.
Everybody drink.
Yeah. Jordan Mason. It's here. Last week he was the running back 3 overall, 16 for 116 and 1. No targets I don't think there are any targets, but no catches. Which is fine. When you have that level of efficiency, like 6-7 yards a carry. Yes, it was the Bengals, I know, and their offense put up one of the worst performances you'll ever see. Yeah, that was weird. But Isaiah Rodgers, go you, dude. But not something you can bet on in the future. Yeah, Mason is someone you can bet on, like Isaiah Rodgers might have a couple years ago. But right now he's third in the league. Sorry. I'm so sad he left my Colts because of that. He was awesome. But Mason's third in the league right now with 0.33 missed tackles forced per attempt. So it's making someone miss every third carry. He has and with that, he has the 4th best yards before contact in the league. So if you're getting 4th most yards before you get hit, and then you're making the 3rd most guys miss, that's just a recipe for success. He also has every single carry for the Vikings inside the 5 this year. Yes, it's only 3 weeks, but still 100% is something you love to see. And now with Aaron Jones down for a little bit, Mason's, I think, really just going to explode overall. He's running back 16 right now. I think he's going to be a top 8 running back rest of the way, or at least for Aaron Jones while Aaron Jones is down.
Well, somewhere Doug is exploding as well. What is your dislike?
Calvin Ridley. I'm a little worried about him. Little worried. I think all 3 of us really were in on him going into the year. He was clearly the top wide receiver on the team, and his skill set meshes very well with Cam Ward's style. Hindsight obviously hasn't worked out. The process was right. It's just their chemistry is not there. It hasn't happened. He has 8 catches on 20 targets for 111 yards this year. Don't love that whatsoever. 21% target share, solid. Could it be higher if he was succeeding more? But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if he's been bad per se. He hasn't been great. But Cam Ward, I think, has been significantly better than the numbers show. But still, there's just something. Those 2 are not in sync whatsoever. And at this point, it's getting a little concerning. Elke Omaner has been good, worthy of wide receiver 2 targets. And then Tyler Lockett's just kind of there making easy catches. So right now, it seems like Ridley's like 3rd on the totem pole, depending on then how Chigo Okonkwo also seems to have a good connection with Ward. If Ridley can get that connection going, I think he'll be awesome. But right now, it's just, 8 for 20 is a lot of miscommunication. Just heebie-jeebies.
I'm starting Ellick over Ridley in a league this week.
That's bold.
I can't trust Ridley. It's funny. It's funny because I've hated Ridley forever. He is one of those players that I have a unexplainable hatred towards. I don't know why. I just don't like him. And finally this year, I was like, you know what? I've been wrong. It was me, not you, Calvin. I'm sorry. Come back. And this is what happens, JMO.
I think just blame it on me. That'd be the easy way. I mean, Calvin Ridley couldn't catch a cold right now, let alone a football. So it is that he's not getting targeted. I mean, Cam Ward has been spreading it all around the yard. He's Ivanor. There's a rookie with the last name of Dyke. That is not a joke. That is a very serious thing. Yeah.
DK.
DK, Dyke, so my bad.
I always get confused. 'Cause when
Chimera
they say
day.
DK,
I mean-
I'm like, is this Pittsburgh?
DIKE. I mean, the I and the
DK.
E stressed.
Nope.
So
It's
my bad.
yeah.
But anyways,
no.
moving on. I mean, it's not like Calvin Ridley's getting double covered. I mean, I've had the unfortunate opportunity to watch Tennessee Titans football on my TV. So I watch
Does that
games.
come with a warning?
It comes with like the caution, and then the FBI if you have to record it. I mean, just viewers' discretion is advised. And then it's Brian Callahan screwing up every play for the Titans because he's a moron, needs to be fired. If you haven't bet him to be first head coach fired, you need to. He's given up offensive play calling, but he didn't even give it to the offensive coordinator. He gave it to the quarterback's coach. So if you want to explain
Really?
if you want to explain that one to me, please let me know.
Maybe he just has a better voice.
Probably. I have no idea. Cam Ward's good. You won't see that in the box score. And then, by the time he kind of settles in, he's taken his 5th or 6th sack. So it gets he's shown flashes, and I think he'll be all right. Calvin Ridley, I expected better. This is my fault. I mean, he did this with Jacksonville where he'd show a little blimp and you'd be like, hell yeah, Calvin Ridley. We're what Julio Jones, twin brother should have been back in the day. And it's like, nope, it's same old stuff, just different days. So I don't know. I don't want to send him to prison, but I mean, he's going to go in timeout for a little while until he can show me that he can behave long enough for me to put him back in my lineups.
Well, Brandon Hallam asks, Chiefs versus Ravens, race to the bottom. Who will be 1-3? I'm going Chiefs. I think the Ravens are going to win.
Yeah. Ravens are terrible. So Ravens are good but terrible. I mean,
I trust them to bounce back more than I trust the Chiefs to continue performing.
Yeah. The thing with John Harbaugh is 10 years ago, he was ahead on the analytics and all that stuff. And now he has lost all his aggression, all the stuff that made him good back in the day. He's cost them 2 games so far. If it's not between Derrick Henry fumbling and all that stuff, I mean, just pretty ugly right now. And then the Chiefs, their best playmaker is Tyquan Thornton. I mean, which is
Who would have guessed that?
Yeah, it just
wasn't on my bingo card.
No, it was not. Xavier Worthy seems like he's practicing, but he's wearing, I don't know, body armor or whatever he is for the shoulder thing. Rashee Rice still got a ways to go, and even when he comes back, they'll have a bye week right afterwards. So you'll get, I think, a week or 2 of them. Then you'll have a bye week. So between 10 weeks, you'll probably get 2 weeks of Rashee Rice. So I don't know. Ravens should win that game, but Ravens look good, and then they just end up losing. But I mean, they lost to the Lions and they lost to the Bills, 2 of the best teams in football. So can't really blame them. But Harbaugh, he just needs to be better. All 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. Quit fumbling the ball.
Fair. I think that's fair. Be better. Well, speaking of better, tonight's game is between the Seahawks and Arizona. Seattle is 2-1 after blowing out the Saints 44-13 last week. And Arizona is 2-1 after a close loss to San Francisco. The weather in Arizona is perfect because they have a roof, which is nice.
Must be nice.
Every stadium should. But before we get into the lines and props, last week, Jameson, you handsome devil, had a nice little comeback with 3 wins.
Hell yeah, I did.
You tied with me, but
I'll
give you the props.
Come on. I thought I was getting gassed up, and I mean, it's an honor. It's timeout. It's an honor to share, but I thought like I'd come back and went like 4-0 and was God's gift to, making these calls. But 3-1.
You know what? Let me do this again. I'm sorry. Let me rerun this. Jameson, you had a big comeback.
Let's go
with 3 wins. I am so proud of you. I mean, Joe and I were far behind. I followed with 3 wins, and Joe had 2. I'm gonna figure out that maybe most people forgot what I said about your wins and didn't do the math.
Just skip 15 seconds ahead.
Sure. So our overall record is 9 wins for me. Yay! 6 for Joe and 4 for JMO.
Big comeback.
My internet shouldn't have come back. Goodness. Hearing those numbers.
Yeah, you might want to dip out again. All right, gentlemen. Yeah. The home Cardinals are getting 1.5 points with an over-under of 43.5, our lowest of the year so far. JMO, where are you leaning with these bets?
I'm leaning for Seattle to beat the absolute tar out of the Cardinals tonight, and I will bet the under. So I will do under 43.5, and I just have Seattle. I think they probably beat them by a touchdown tonight.
Okay, Joe.
I am going to take the under as well. I'll take Seattle's points. They're favored by 1.5. I don't think this is a 1-point game, but the Seahawks have never once played a normal game unless they're blowing someone out or getting blown out. So it's gonna be a weird game, but I think it's gonna be like a 20-17 sort of deal.
Yeah, well, gentlemen, we're gonna rise and fall together on this one. What's up, 3CPO?
Nice.
3P1C fail.
Close enough.
Wait, what is that? Does that say something?
Epic fail.
Oh, it does.
Look at you.
Oh.
Wow. Considering we're talking about our performance so far this year in
Yeah.
betting, it's funny that you would
I should
that would
add
leap to your mind.
I should add 5 points to my score, get me up to 9. So
It doesn't though. But I went with the Seahawks and under as well. Would you like to share any prop bets you have for us, young man?
I do. I've got a couple. We are going to start on the criminal side for the Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray. Just want to take my shot at Kyler. Can I bring something up before we do the prop bets?
Do it.
Just for a second.
Please.
So last week, our boy, Kyler Murray, who's
Yes.
got, the brain cells of a peanut, but he decided to wear a Michael Vick jersey from the Virginia Tech while holding, I guess, like a big pit bull thing, and just couldn't put 2 and 2 together. And then, of course, you do the apology tour. I was not right. I didn't know what I was doing because he's a moron. He can't see over the offensive line and can't do anything. But I just want to take a quick shot at Kyler because, I mean, he is the worst quarterback in the NFL. Even if he's not, he is. It's number one in my book. You're not going to win with him.
Worst on vibes.
Is there anybody who you would just not want as your quarterback? Like, does anybody wake up and like, hell yeah, Kyler Murray's my quarterback?
Nah, zero aura, man. Zero aura.
No, and it's just, anyways, I just want to take that quick shot in. Not going to be betting on Kyler tonight because he's unreliable, but I will talk to his new running back 1, and Trey Benson takes over for James Conner, RIP. Didn't die, but he is out for the year. So Trey Benson had 85% of the workload for the running back room for Arizona. So tonight he's at over 56.5 rushing yards going up against Seattle's defense that's been really good this year. So, Joe, we will kick it off with you. Do you think Trey Benson is the real deal, and do you think he can muster up 56.5 yards on the ground?
I really like Trey Benson a lot, but not this week. I think Seattle's defense is just at another level. The only running back who's hit that mark against the Seahawks so far is Christian McCaffrey on 22 carries, who still got a nice 69 yards there.
Nice.
So I don't think Benson's going to get 20 carries to get to the 56 yards, 57, I guess.
JJ, what about you?
I'm on the same train. Seattle's defense doesn't allow a lot of rushing yards. I love Trey Benson overall. I'm excited for him, but not this week. All right. Epic fail. Not 3CP fail. In Superflex, would you start both Drake May and Daniel Jones over Kyler Murray? Yes.
Every day and twice on Sunday, young man.
Yeah.
Or woman. Don't
Daniel
discriminate
Jones isn't
here.
real, but you have to, with how it's
Oh,
been going, you have to start. You have to start him over Kyler. Matchup. I mean, this defense is insane.
And what about your favorite, Drake May?
Oh, yeah, that's a given.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Can I give you the preview of Kyler Murray's his vision for tonight?
Sure.
They're going to hike the ball. He's going to spin around a little bit. He's going to run to the right. He's either going to sail it over Marvin Harrison Jr. or he's going to run out of bounds for like 4 or 5 yards. And then they're going to hike the ball, and they're going to hand it off, and it's going to get stuffed. And then they're just going to keep repeating that. And then, Trey McBride will end up, PPR scamming his way to about
8 catches for like 60 yards.
Yeah, 70 yards, and Cardinals are going to lose, and then nobody's going to talk about them because they're just whatever.
There'll be one explosive pass play to like Amari to Mercado.
Yeah.
It helps no one.
So
I
are
need
we
to lay
making a list? So if we talk about Spectrum Cable,
Yeah, we can't do
Kyler
that.
Murray, What else? What else is on the list that gets Shamo really mad?
Ray Lewis, but that's a different program.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna lay off Kyler. We're gonna get through the rest of the show. But Kyler, you are number one in my book, and if I could take any cheap shot, I will. So we just brought up the other guy for the Cardinals, Trey McBride, the only receiving option in Arizona since Marvin Harrison Jr. has not arrived to the NFL yet. Trey McBride's line is at 64.5 yards. So JJ, we will start with you. Over under for the only receiving weapon in Arizona.
Well, I'm going with the over. Juwan Johnson put up 6 for 51. Pittsburgh and their 2 tight ends combined for 8 for 58. McBride is better than any of those. So I don't think it's a big stretch to see him doing 8 receptions for 64.5 yards.
Joe, how about you?
Ditto.
So easy enough. On to the much.
You too,
better,
buddy.
Yeah, So that's a different program. I try to keep football. We'll do another show. I'll do 45 minutes on the WWE product right now.
Didn't he just lose to like The Rock or someone?
Lost Brock Lesnar, and it was another thing that was.
Is that the same guy? The Rock Lesnar?
No.
Both former football players.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar played for the Vikings. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson played for the Miami Hurricanes. Different people. The Rock's a criminal too. You can add the farewell tour and The Rock on my list, and that'd be a different subject for a different day. Now I'm getting worked up. Let's get back to football. All right, other side. Seattle. I can't even do this with a straight face anymore. But Kenneth Walker, over 52.5 rushing yards. It just came out that Zach Charbonnet will be in tonight. He's playing.
Oh boy.
Been kind of tough, but Joe, I will start with you. How do you feel about Kenneth Walker going up against this Arizona run defense?
To make you feel better, I know your guy Cody Rhodes is a Star Wars fan, so that gets both of us mutual ally there.
Shout out my dog Cody. Hope he's doing well wherever he is in the world.
Yep. Maybe we'll watch the Mandalorian and Grogu together one day. Maybe,
there you go.
Maybe not. Anyway, Kenneth Walker, I don't freaking know. I don't know how to. That's the next Star Wars movie coming out, JJ. But
sure.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, I don't know with Kenneth Walker. I never know. I'm gonna say under with Charbs back in, and then the Cardinals defense is zesty. So yeah, it'll be wrong. You're gonna be wrong no matter what with Kenneth Walker.
I do not want to say too much because this might come up again under my dynasty perspective, but I'm going with the under. I absolutely agree that the Arizona defense is zesty. And if you put that Jorge comment back up, I actually love the Star Wars franchise. I just kind of like making fun of people who like them because it's fun for me.
Sure.
But I think Rogue One was one of my favorite movies of all time. I saw Empire in the theater twice. So Return of the Jedi, some of the sequels were dog shit, but
I saw Attack of the Clones. That's the only Star Wars movie I've seen. Does that count?
Nice.
Or is that terrible? Is that me just coming in at the wrong time?
That's you coming in at the wrong time.
Yeah,
wrong time.
I have a poster of the Phantom Menace across the room from me.
All right. Shout out Mace Windu. So, but
are you going under or over yourself, J-Mo?
I'm going to go over. I'm going to smash. All it takes is one with Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I swear that's the only one we have different so far. Maybe this last one will get some variance between us.
And then last one here, Jackson Smith-Njigba, over 84.5 receiving yards. He's got a 469% target share at the moment. Seems like he catches everything in his way. Cooper Kupp, and then Torrey Horton. He kind of popped Tony Horton. I get those mixed up. Torrey.
It is Torrey.
One of them. So I was right the first time. He popped up on special teams and kind of had a big day last week. So over 84.5 receiving yards for JSN. Joe, we'll start with you.
I'm going to go over. Coming into the week, I was leaning more under, but then looks like Garrett Williams and Max Melton are out for today, unless I missed something.
Yeah. Cardinals defense got some major injuries, especially in the secondary.
Dynasty IDP, Garrett Williams, if you're in a cornerback league, pick him up, especially while he's injured now. Fun player out of the slot. Anywho, yeah, with those guys out, JSN's going to eat.
JJ?
I heard an interesting stat today on the Check the Mic podcast. They said that Arizona plays 30% quarters, and Seattle, against the quarter defense, leads the league with 13.5 yards per play against quarters. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm saying that equals 84.5 or more. I'm going over.
I like the logic.
So it sounds like we're all going to show up next week with big wins, or everybody's going to be totally tanking as far as our bets for the week.
Somebody's not going to be happy.
No, I figured. One of you guys are going to have to address this comment. I am respectfully kicked out of IDP football.
Mac Wilson, he's been the green dot. He was featured in my Plays and Fades article 2 weeks ago as a play. One of the few that hit the first one, but he's been good. That linebacker room is terrible, so Akeem Davis-Gaither is the next man up, who's not very good. Owen Popo is a defensive back playing linebacker. Divine Diablo, but not as good. Mac Wilson's the top guy there for the rest of the season, barring injury. He's a linebacker 2 play. Don't have to be good to get IDP points.
I used to know so much about IDP, and now I don't know anything.
I have to say, your like this week with Jordan Davis, that was a dislike for me because that has thrown off all of my charting and data sourcing for defensive tackle stats, because now he's number 1 because of 2 blocks and a random touchdown. It's like, anyway. Oh, IDP question.
Would you start Leonard Williams or Dorrance Armstrong versus Atlanta, or Carl Granderson versus Buffalo? I have to say, I've been starting Dorrance Armstrong in the FF7.
Dorrance has been good.
Shout out to Iggy. He has been consistently solid week after week. Solid floor, not a lot of upside, but in that league at least, he's been delivering for me.
Yeah, he's been good. How have the Bills been? I wouldn't go Granderson here, even go Pokes, but Leonard versus Dorrance here. I'm going Armstrong. Just gonna go with edge play there, and then Byron Murphy, who spoiler, I guess. Spoiler on Byron Murphy has been really blowing up lately and kind of stealing some numbers from Leonard Williams. So Armstrong is my pick here.
This is all gibberish for me, so I'm going to exclude myself. But for all
pick
you,
name, JMO, who's your name?
I'll pick Granderson, but don't listen to me.
Nice.
But for all you IDP hooligans out there, if you're planning on winning your fantasy football league this year, go check out TrophySmack.com. If you want to become the king or queen of your league, it's hard to show that you're the champ without a specialty belt, ring, or trophy. I put a little IDP bezazzle on it. But if you want to do that, use code Fantasy and Frames 10, gets you 10% off anything that they have in stock. Like I said, title belts, rings, trophies. If I'd ever win anything, I'd have them all displayed behind here. But unfortunately, I just have wrestling stuff and a Pete Rose signed football. So, like I said, if you are wanting to win your league, which I'm sure all of you do, plan to go to Trophy Smack. 10% off with Fantasy and Frames 10 gets you whatever you want. Because if you I was going to say something, then I lost my train of thought. So just go TrophySmack.com.
Well, you are.
I was going to say
best there ever was.
Yes,
best there is.
I was going to change it up this week. I was going to say to beat the man, you got to be the man, you got to beat the man. Nice. And then I got screwed up, and then I read this. So just if you want to be the best, go TrophySmack.com. Fantasy and Frames 10% off. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of breath.
All right, fantastic work, buddy. Since this is a Dynasty podcast, every week we're going to pick either a player or a position group that we are watching in tonight's game and look at them from the Dynasty perspective. For me, last week, I wanted to know who would be the wide receiver 1 for the Bills. The answer is it doesn't matter because it will change from week to week. Feel free to play your Bills pass receivers if you want, but be prepared for disappointment because you'll never know who is going to lead. JMO, what was yours last week?
Mine, I said last week, if Jalen Waddle had a decent game, try to ship him off. A whopping 39 yards, but he had a touchdown on 6 targets. So if you just look at the box score at the end, you saw they had like 10 or 11 points, ship him. I don't care what you get for him. Get him out of there. Move him.
Sell.
Yeah. Tua looked.
Buy him in Dynasty. Sell him in redraft, I think.
I don't know. Tua didn't look good. I don't think it's going to get much better for Mr. Waddle here. So I'm going to waddle my way out of here. So,
Good one.
Try my best. Joe?
I wanted to know if Dorian Williams would take over the linebacker 2 role long term, and the answer's probably not. He was fine, 6 tackles, only 75% of snaps. The metrics were overall poor. It was a short week. Miami had the weirdest game plan ever with like -2 yards per attempt, like air yards. He needs to grow a lot more, but right now, I don't think he's going to take over that role. I expect even if Milano's gone for the rest of this year into next year, that they'll bring in another linebacker, another 3rd, 4th rounder. They drafted one last year too, I believe, whose name has totally escaped me. So Dorian Williams is not someone I'm holding for dynasty leagues. Not dropping him per se, but
What are you looking for this week?
I alluded to him earlier. Byron Murphy II. I think he's truly arrived. Maybe he's fantasy wise. He's defensive tackle 5 this season. The only guys ahead of him are Cam Hayward, the eternal one, Quinnen Williams, Milton Williams, and then Jordan Davis because of the touchdown and blocks for some weird reason. But so he's really DT4 on the year for relevant moments. Right now, amongst defensive tackles, he's top 12 in pass rush productivity, pass rush win rate, overall pass rush grade. He has the most sacks, 2nd most hurries amongst all the comments right now. JJ, you seem like you're having a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just having a little conversation with Jorge.
He has the most sacks, 2nd most hurries amongst all defensive tackles. So his numbers are legit right now. I'm a little worried by 70% snaps, but it's as a defensive tackle, it's not the end of the world. Arizona is the 4th best pass protecting offensive line per PFF. So this is a big challenge for him. I'm curious to see if he can go for it. He was my top rated defender in last year's class. So I think he has top 5, top 3 defensive tackle upside, potential edge 1 or just defensive line 1 ability for fantasy. I want to see if he can continue to do that. If he can grow against the run and see if first true challenge, what he can do.
All right. Byron Murphy. J-Mo, what about you?
Just curious to see how Trey Benson looks in a starting role with James Conner out. So he got 85% last week. I think that changes when they have a full week of game planning. Marty DiMarco had the 3rd down role. And I just kind of want to see what Trey Benson's value actually ends up being. I mean, as far as I wasn't really in on him this year, he was not my favorite prospect coming out last year. And in Dynasty, seems like if someone has a prior on these guys, they're willing to buy them. You know, you get the backup who ends up being a kind of similar to Jordan Mason. People kind of go after it and they get really excited about it. And then the value, they might have a little bit, but maybe a little more amped up than they think it is. So, I mean, if Trey Benson looks decent, we'll see if this is his audition for the starting role next year. I don't plan on James Conner necessarily coming back to what he was, and especially for an older prospect. But honestly, like if he looks good enough, I think it's a perfect opportunity if you weren't in love with Trey Benson to try to kind of flip him. That's always how I approach these. I mean, somebody in your league probably loved Trey Benson coming out, gets really excited, gets a starting role in an offensive environment in Arizona that is not very good unless you're Trey McBride. So, I mean, I think you probably get a second out of Trey Benson in the right. I know that's probably like a little goofy, but or a player swap. Somebody's going to get really excited about him, his workload, and then, we'll see. He wasn't my favorite prospect. I'm not totally excited for him in season long the rest of the way unless you're down a bunch of running backs. So I think it's a good opportunity to flip him before people see, unless he just breaks out and becomes the greatest running back of all time. So we'll see.
Well, our friend of the show, Doug Orth, after his love for Jordan Mason, loves, you're right, drink, sorry.
Hydration.
Trey Benson. He loved Trey Benson.
He's had a great run out so far. Jordan Mason, Trey Benson. I mean, couldn't happen to a better guy, but I'm just saying, like, he's kind of walked into some.
Yes, it could. It could happen to me.
It could.
I mean, or any of us. Let's be honest. Doug's not watching the show. He doesn't support me. I read
just
all the
saying.
stuff he writes. He doesn't watch me.
Well,
It
Doug-
hurts. It hurts because it's true, Doug. I hope you're watching.
there you go. I'll send him a message through
First watch,
snail
last
mail.
watch.
So, but
All right.
I know Joe were you pretty excited about Trey Benson?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like he's excited about him. I'm just kind of he just ends up one of these guys who's filling in a role. It's not a guy that I'm
I
totally
was
pumped
excited
about,
for him for
so.
26. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens this year.
So I don't know. I know we'll move on in a second. I don't know Kyler's situation. I think Arizona will be a lot better when he's gone, but I don't know when they can get out from underneath the Kyler Murray experience.
Boat track we go.
I just think he's going to be limiting this offense until the end of time.
I hope maybe they'll do like a Goff for Stafford sort of trade. Could be cool. Maybe with Dallas for Dak. Would be sweet.
Wouldn't be too bad. But
All right. I feel like every week I'm trying to figure out who is the lead in a position group. My answer is never clear. I didn't get clarity about the Packers or Bills receivers in the past 2 weeks. But this week, I want to know who is the lead back for Seattle. Now, over the first 2 weeks, Charbonnet was on the field for 66 plays compared to Walker's 44. Last week, Sharps was injured, and Walker only had 30 snaps, or 53% that he was on the field. So I really want to see, now that they're both back, I want to see who takes the lead, or if this is going to be a pretty balanced backfield.
I still think it's Kenneth Walker. I'm still in on Kenneth Walker. His metrics have been a lot better than Charbonnet's, even though he started off 50-50. I just think he's got much more upside. And honestly, I know Seattle doesn't really get talked about a lot. They've been really good. Sam Darnold looks good. I know he's
Darnold's the top ranked QB by PFF.
Yeah, so
is he really?
Yep, you'll get the Sam Darnold experience tonight. But I mean, Cooper Kupp's been fine. They have the rookie wide receiver, Mr. Horton, that
holy crap, he is
did really well. So
yeah, right.
And then they got a defense. They got a defense that opens a can of whoop ass on anybody that they play. So they're really set up well. I mean, 49ers. They've lost everybody except for Christian McCaffrey. They sacrificed his health, and then everybody else died on that team. And then, the Rams, they're going to be good. Devontae Adams has been missing practice, and then Arizona, who, just kind of move on from that. Won't say anything more than I already have, but set up really well. I like Seattle.
So back to Kyler Murray. If they trade him or post 6-1, he would have a dead cap in 26 of just under 28 million, and 2027 would be just over 7 million. So there's a very real out this offseason.
Who's worse, the Cardinals drafting him or a team trading for him?
If it's a Goff situation where like you trade Kyler or you trade Dak and get Kyler in a first, I feel like you have 2 years of him under contract. He's a Texas guy. That might make him happier. And if there's not a huge downside, especially if you're going into a soft rebuild, you have some competence. It's enough to excite a fan base for a year before you get tired of him.
It is hard to find even a terrible QB in the NFL. Like, as a Jets fan, we've gone through some trash QBs. Yeah. So even though we don't like Kyler and he's not going to take you to the promised land, he at least is going to take you into purgatory.
I was going to say, I wouldn't trade a ham sandwich for Kyler, but a
ham sandwich is delicious.
That has to be the Goff situation. It's like, this is what we were saying about Goff a couple years ago. Now, will he turn into that? Probably not. Just odds he won't. But if you're getting off another expensive quarterback, getting a little cheaper, and getting some picks for it, I feel like that's the way it has to go. And I could see it. So
we'll see.
I doubt like a Jets or other team without a quarterback would trade for him to be their guy.
Why did you even say my team's name? Why?
You had mentioned them. There's the Steelers. Okay, let's go Steelers.
Oh yeah.
Steelers
exactly where it needs to go.
Going for him to be their savior would just
that would be great though. That would be a good trade. Go to the Steelers.
Yeah. Kyler Murray and Arthur Smith. What could hell yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right, Joe. Who is
Sorry.
the Devy player of the week who we should keep on our short list?
I'm a little. That was.
I had to get us off that conversation.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna keep it degenerate and stay on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh,
Right now the quarterbacks have been struggling a bit. There's a couple interesting guys, but no one who's like number one pick. Not even a Cam Ward type. So right now, if the draft was tomorrow, I think the first pick would be, well, same school as Cam Ward, Miami's Ruben Bain Jr., which is, first of all, just a badass name for an edge rusher. He's been phenomenal the past couple years. As a true freshman, he dominated the scene, was a little iffy last year, and then this year has been elite. Amongst all edge rushers in college football, he's 7th in overall pass rush grade, has the tied for 6th most pressures with 19 in 4 games, tied for 5th in PRP with, in pass rush win rate with 28.9%. So he's a top 7 overall edge rusher, which includes the random little schools, my Wyoming Cowboys, all those other random schools. So that's a great number. And he's a better run defender than he is a pass rusher by a wide margin. He's 92.9 run defense grade. He's one of those, the George Karlaftis, Jared Verse, Cam Jordan mold of guys, where he's just great against the run and then I think he's going to find his way into 10 sacks every year. One of those 8 to 12 sacks every year while being dominant against the run. He'd be the top pick right now. He's not the best defender in the class, but Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, is a safety, so won't go first overall. But he's 6'3", 275. He's a bully. He's a closer. His overall sack totals haven't been great, but he did finish the game against Notre Dame in week 1, and then dominated USF, who was coming off 2 highly ranked wins in a row. And last week, he just dominated Florida, who has their struggles, but is still a bitter rival. Everything. Bain is, I think right now, he's the clear number 1 overall pick. Positional value. He's someone I'm super excited about. This is a class for edge rushers if you're in IDP leagues.
If he comes out wearing the Bain mask, I will draft him before 101. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like that would just be it. And if he came out in a Bain mask while holding a Reuben,
I was gonna say Reuben, a great ass sandwich.
Yeah.
Wasn't
right now, if it's the Giants with the first overall pick or
Reuben
someone
Pepper?
or the Titans, that'd be.
Well, the Giants wouldn't do that. They just took a guy number 1.
No, like
with
I
the
mean,
first pick.
no, that's true. But they wouldn't take a quarterback, is more what I meant.
Cincinnati needs
Maybe.
one.
But yeah, I love Garrett Nussmeier, but he's not 101 right now. Mateer's hurt. Sellers is super up and down. So this is the class I put a couple shekels on Bain going first overall, and I'm not a betting man. So
all right. It's the time of the show to let the good people know where they can find you and any final thoughts. Jameson?
Over on the Twitter machine at Jameson Rules, and then every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern with Joel Worth doing NFL DFS on my YouTube channel. It's been going very well. I hope more people have been cashing than I have. I'm the only person on earth who played Hunter Henry the week that he had 1 reception, and then every other week he's gone off so far. So everybody's got to be doing better than me, but that's where I'll be.
Joe?
you can find me on the interwebs at JoeLo63 on all of the forms of social media. And at fantasyandframes.com, as we previously alluded to, my IDP plays and fades for week 4 will be dropping shortly, some point today or tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, I'm at JJ Wenner on the socials. Thank you, Joe Jameson, and the whole crew at Fantasy and Frames. Make sure you're going to fantasyandframes.com. Check out all the articles and rankings that you need, and make sure you listen and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, to all the other shows. We are barely one in a plethora of great shows. We are back next week to preview the 49ers at the Rams and answer your way too early start-sit questions. And as always, love yourself, know your worth. You are enough. Boat drinks, my friends. Boat drinks.